SABC News. The African Perspective.
The time is exactly 6 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Good afternoon and welcome to the special broadcast of The Upside on Channel Africa, The African Perspective with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko. On Channel Africa, The African Perspective with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. We are coming to you live from the Tembela venue in the city of Mmatsheko in Richards Bay, KwaZulu-Natal for day 2 of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa 2025. And if you hear people speaking in the background, it's because the conference is currently underway and we will be bringing you the latest in conversations with the delegates, the people that matter, the people who are going to be contributing to the tourism and the film sector and the economy of the city of Mmatsheko. They are all here, and what an exciting occasion it is for us as The Upside to broadcast from the venue itself. Catch us on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok and on X. Interact with us. Send us a WhatsApp. Where are you listening to us from this afternoon? +2763 406 9126. Good afternoon to you, Mmatsheko Mosito. Looking lovely. Actually, do you want to stand up so people can see you on camera? Because I love the outfit.
Okay, there I am. No, that's not going to be necessary.
But they can see there's a camera.
That's not going to be necessary. But I'm happy to be here. We bring you all the sights and sounds. So yesterday was all about the tour.
Yes.
And really
yes.
seeing the different spaces that are going to kind of benefit from this global platform that is the Tourism Investment Forum Africa. And today the actual conference begins. There are some exhibitors. We actually got to check them out. And of course the delegation is here to just present what they're about and what their contribution to tourism and investment in the broader sense is all about. So we've got a couple of guests that we're going to speak to, including the MEC, who's going to be joining us. We're going to be speaking to him really about government's involvement in TIFA and their interest in tourism. What does their interest look like, not beyond the year 2025? So MEC Musa Zondi is going to be speaking to us under the Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs of KZN here in South Africa. So that's one very important conversation. But the lotto, gentlemen, is another one.
We need to sort out the lotto situation.
We need to, yes.
Because a couple of days ago we got into conversation with a man by the name of, his name is Tsepo Bannister, who had played the lottery, placed a bet, a 50 Rand bet on the National Lottery on World Sports Betting, the platform, and he had won 17 million Rand, but he never got paid. After follow-ups with the NLC, the National Lottery, and the World Sports Betting, all those councils on all those platforms, till this day, he has not been paid. This bet was made in 2022. Today, we give Ituba the opportunity to respond to the case of Tsepo and perhaps even other cases that have similar story to tell. And hopefully, during the day, we might get the mayor of the city of Mhlathuze.
Yes.
I hope he pulls through to tell us about the excitement that he has of having TIFA here and what this will mean for the region of the city of Mhlathuze. All that is coming up on the Upside. Good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Es-tu préoccupé par quelque chose? Es-tu passionné? Eh bien, nous avons la plateforme parfaite pour toi. Téléphone-nous ou fais-nous un WhatsApp au +27 66 408 87 42 et nous te rappellerons. Sois dans la conversation.
Salut Channel Africa, ici Beno le diamant rouge et Binal Export depuis le Cameroun, le pays des lions. Voilà.
Sois dans la conversation. Il ne s'agit pas seulement de parler, mais c'est ta chance d'exprimer ton point de vue, de partager tes opinions et de t'engager avec une communauté qui valorise ton avis. Suivez-nous sur les réseaux sociaux, visitez notre site www.channelafrica.co.za et préparez-vous à partager vos points de vue sur Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Well, it is exactly 14 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. We do apologize if you're picking up some conversations happening in the background. The conference is currently under some conversations happening in the background. The conference is currently underway. We are at the Tourism Investment Forum Africa 2025 in the city of Umhlathuze. The venue that's hosting us is the Tembela venue. Beautiful, beautiful wedding and events venue. And we have the privilege today of broadcasting live from TIFA day number 2. But before we get into conversations about TIFA, earlier this week we shared the story of Tsepo Bannister, who says he placed a 50 Rand bet that matched the winning numbers for a jackpot of 17 million Rand. Now, according to Bannister, when he logged in the next day, his ticket was no longer visible in his account and his winnings could not be traced. And since then, he has been in lengthy disputes with both World Sports Bets, the platform where he placed the bet, and the South African Lottery, raising questions about how such cases are handled when disagreement arise. For more than 2 years, Bannister says he has been trying to find answers with his case moving between departments and regulators. Ituba National Lottery has since reached out to us for the right to reply. And today, they join us on the line to respond to the claims and share their perspective. We are joined on the line by Michelle van Trottensberg, Ituba Head of Corporate Services and Marketing. Michelle, thank you so much for your time and welcome to The Upside.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having us.
Let's get your responses as Ituba. What's your response to Tsepo Bannister's claim about his missing jackpot ticket? Since you found out about it, what has been the stance from Ituba?
Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity. As I said, it's a very sad affair. We really don't want our participants to have this kind of experience. But it is a very simple process, and it's very important that we clarify any misconceptions that there might be in the media or in his case that we are referring to. So the way the process works, if you purchase a ticket on any accredited or approved platform, which World Sports Betting is one of our approved platforms. Yeah. It is the responsibility of the participant to get a receipt. It's a very simple transaction. If you're buying any goods on any platform, you need to confirm receipt of your payment or receipt of your ticket. I did note that the person said that they did get a digital receipt. Well, if he did, then he's more than welcome to share that with us. We can definitely confirm there was no ticket purchased. And there's many reasons why the ticket might not be purchased. It could have been network failure. He could have had a drop in his connectivity, or Wi-Fi went down. But unfortunately, there was no ticket registered. And this case has been going through. We put his account on hold to do the investigation. So it is a very frustrating an affair, and I really apologize that he went through such a poor experience. But we had to do thorough investigations ourselves through our regulator, together with our partner, with sports betting, to make sure that everything was followed through in process. So unfortunately, I can confirm that there was no ticket purchase, and with no ticket, there's no way you can claim a winning. So he might have chosen the winning numbers, but unfortunately, without the transaction and proof of a transaction went through, there is no winnings. We do not withhold winnings. We have an obligation through our license agreements that we have to pay out winnings that to all our winners that come through within 48 hours, and on weekends 72 hours. So that is not the case. This case has been going on since 2022, so it's been a very long time going. And I can guarantee you there was nothing untold, and there's nothing fishy. It is unfortunate, no ticket, no win.
Michelle, talk to us about how you actually safeguard or put in place some means in terms of ticket purchases, because, I would need to be safeguarded or know that there are safeguards in place to ensure that every ticket that I purchase is properly recorded and traceable. Do you have any mechanism in place to ensure this?
Yes, we do. So once a ticket has been secured through any of our online systems, The actual ticket goes into our Century Lottery system, into a specific drawer. So every single ticket is recorded. If there is a valid ticket, the participant will receive a digit confirmation via an SMS. And that is actually one of the reasons why there's such an uptake in convenience on your banking apps. Because in the past, a lot of people used to go into the retail space, then you had a physical, tangible ticket in your hand. Now with online, the same process exists. If you're buying on any kind of online platform, you do get receipts, you do get confirmation that you have received your goods or you've made a purchase of sorts. So all of those safeguards are in place. And unfortunately, with the National Lottery, we are not selling you a cold drink that's going to quench your thirst. It is a lottery ticket. So you do get a unique serial number. So it is completely traceable. We have all the safeguards in place. We know exactly where the ticket was purchased, when it was purchased. When you're buying it in a retail store, we don't know who purchased the ticket unless they come through to claim their winnings.
Well, we are currently in conversation with the eTuba Head of Corporate Services and Marketing, Michelle van Trottensberg, as she responds to the claims that Tebogo Bannister had made that he had placed a bet in 2022, a 50 Rand bet, and he had won 17 million Rand according to his numbers, but the system does not reflect it, nor is there a record of this ticket. We continue the conversation right after this. It's 20 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time.
The KwaZulu-Natal brings you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum, Africa. By positioning these regions for sustainable growth, TIFA helps drive their economic ambitions while providing access to critical capital, networks, and strategic insights on investments in the trade services sector, such as tourism. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from August 27 to 29 at Tembela Venue, Richards Bay, KZN, South Africa. Be part of the movement transforming tourism and infrastructure in Africa. No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you.
It is now 21 minutes after 1. It is now 21 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. We continue our conversation about better understanding the processes behind lottery disputes and player protection. Earlier this week, we got into conversation with Tebogo Bannister, who says that he placed a 50 Rand bet on World Sports Betting for the National Lottery, and that his numbers came out that night and he was supposed to win a jackpot of 17 million Rand. But till this day, he has not won or has not received the money, and this is because the systems do not reflect the tickets or the winnings on that particular day. And we're currently in conversation with Michelle van Trottensberg, eTuba Head of Corporate Services and Marketing. Michelle, what then happens when a man like Tebogo, a player like Tebogo, says, I have proof, I have evidence, I have the receipts, but your system is showing a different story. Your system does not reflect what I have. I've screen grabbed it. Where does Tebogo need to go now to prove that indeed he did win on that night?
Right, that's a great question. So let me take a step back again. So if there was a ticket that was registered into the system through whichever platform that he would have purchased the ticket, he would have had a digital confirmation. He would have received a unique serial number, which will identify his ticket. To date, I can confirm he has not been able to produce such ticket. Therefore, he is not a participant that is holding a winning ticket. Can you just ask further question then?
Yes, so the first one was what then happens in a situation like this where if he says that he has his own proof but the system says something else, where does he go? Does he need to approach you as eTuba and then take it from there? Has he come through to the party? You mentioned that he was not able to bring a proper ticket, but the screen grabs that he showed us on social media, were they not sufficient for this particular case?
Not at all, not at all. Okay, thank you very much for clarifying. So in this case, he would have reached out to ourselves, eTuba. We do have him on record, so I can confirm that he did reach out to us. He also did reach out to the Gambling Authority, but the National Lottery is regulated by the National Lotteries Commission, not through the Gambling Board, so they would have directed him correctly to the NLC, which is the National Lotteries Commission. We would have also then been in contact with our accredited authorized partner, which is your World Sports Betting, because we would require them to do an investigation. And the challenge we had at the time is that he was very quick to obviously contact, because obviously the excitement, which we fully understand and appreciate. Yeah. But once he reached World Sports Betting, in order to do a thorough investigation to make sure that there was no technical challenges, his account was unfortunately suspended, put on hold, pending further investigation. And that, unfortunately, we have to allow due diligence. We have to allow all the parties to make sure that there's been no technical issues. We all know that technical issues happen, but with these screenshots that he provided, we could verify and confirm that that was not a winning ticket, or it wasn't a ticket at all. So that was the challenge. And then we worked together with all the different parties, including our regulator, and formal responses have been provided to Mr. Bannister with regards to this matter. And unfortunately, there was no winning ticket. There was no technical challenges. There was just no.
Michelle, stories like these would naturally then.
His ticket was purchased.
Michelle, stories like these would naturally then attract questioning around, transparency and public trust. So how does Ituba then maintain public trust and ensure accountability in handling these types of disputes?
Another great question. I mean, that is why we're here today, to answer these questions, because it does create that have been doing the rounds on social media. But it is very important that we run, as Ituba, we run the National Lottery with integrity and transparency. And we can definitely guarantee you that we would never withhold a payment that is due to a winner. It is part of our license requirement and our obligation. If there is a winning ticket, we had a winner last night. We had a winner on Capitec on the Lotto game, over 40 million. We've already sent out communications to invite the winners, or invite participants that played on the Capitec app to check their banking, to check their digital tickets for this very same reason, so that they can come through to our offices to claim their winnings. That kind of value, 40 million, is not paid automatically. It is also verified, but it's not paid automatically. They have to come through to our offices to verify. So that is why we keep on referring back to no ticket, no win. If you are unable to produce a ticket that has been through the system, through the central lottery system, and selected as a winning ticket, there is no winnings to be paid.
Michelle,
there is no winnings to be paid.
Michelle, should Tebogo then decide, I am not satisfied with that kind of a response, perhaps he still feels that it's not to his satisfaction, he may believe that he did have a valid ticket that night, what steps should he take going forward, or is this where it ends for him?
Look, I mean, he's welcome to take any measures he'd like if he feels that he's still not satisfied. However, from our side, we are unable to assist him. And you know, that is again the sadness of the matter. We are unable to pay out because we cannot do that. We cannot pay out somebody that thought there was a winner. We've had cases in the past where a person might have bought a ticket, they've watched the draw show, they saw, wow, I won I got the winning numbers, yeah. And maybe their ticket got damaged, and or they lose the ticket. Unfortunately, they'll come to the office. We complete a thorough investigation. We try and assist them because, as I said, we know exactly where the ticket was purchased. We know we know which retailer it came from or where it came from, so we are able to trace it. So in many cases, we try our damnedest to assist our participants to try and see if they did hold a winning ticket. All tickets are valid for 365 days, so we can do our full diligence to make sure that if there was a winning ticket, we can help our participants. But unfortunately, if there's no ticket on our system that is recorded as a ticket or even a winning ticket, we are not going to be able to pay Mr. Bannister, I'm afraid.
And very quickly, Michelle, when there is a technical glitch, are you able to pick it up if there was a successful purchase? We're putting aside Tebogo's case now. If someone else placed a bet and there was a technical glitch thereafter and they were supposed to win some monies but they didn't because there was a technical glitch, what would be the process then?
Look, I mean, the technical glitches do happen, but if it is the responsibility of the person that is making a purchase, just like on any platform. Even if you're ordering something on a food platform, you acknowledge receipt of that. In this case, he might have acknowledged receipt of it, but it wasn't the case. So technically, glitches do happen, and we all know, we've all been on a WhatsApp call and we drop connectivity. So it's I wouldn't say the challenges lies with us. We do have challenges across the country. We know during load shedding we had lots of downtime from a network point of view, but the operations that we've been running, we've got redundancies in place. Which means that we've got a commitment to our license again that we are running 99.9% with no downtime, and that is our commitment. So we've got a lot of different security measures in place to make sure that does not happen.
So we've got a lot of Michelle, thank you so much for your response, and I don't know if it will make Tsepo happy hearing this kind of conversation, but we appreciate the transparency that you're providing us, and that there is a way for us to dispute if we are that you're providing us, and that there is a way for us to dispute if we are unhappy with perhaps the services or the system itself online. But we thank you for your time this afternoon on The Upside.
My pleasure. Thank you.
The voice of Michelle van Trottensburg, the Ituba head of corporate services and marketing, saying that Tsepo didn't have a valid ticket that night, and that therefore he cannot be a jackpot winner.
Tsepo needs to get legal representation, in my opinion. He needs to get legal representation, and they need to get an independent auditor to prove that between Ituba and this ticket that Tsepo has presented as proof, as we understand it, according to an interview we had with him, that the two are not meeting, that there is no serial number, that there was no such ticket. But with that said, let's quickly take a sports break. Fikile Lingwati has the latest for us.
Sports.
Let's kick off with football news. Bafana head coach Hugo Broos has announced his 23-man squad for the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Lesotho and Nigeria in Bloemfontein in September. South Africa hosts Lesotho on the 5th of September at the Free State Stadium before welcoming continental giants Nigeria to the same venue 4 days later in what could prove decisive for their qualifying campaign. Captain Ronwin Williams headlines the selection, while the absence of defender Khuliso Mudau is glaring amid his ongoing omission from the Sundowns squad this season. There's a strong Sundowns and Orlando Pirates presence in the squad, with the two domestic giants contributing the bulk of the defensive and attacking options. And Kaizer Chiefs coach Nasreddin Nabi has sat on the bench for the first time in the 2025-2026 season as his troops played to a 0-0 draw against defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns at FNB Stadium last night. Nabi missed the opening 3 games due to family commitments back home in Tunisia. Playing at an almost full capacity venue of approximately 75,000 fans, Kaizer Chiefs failed to continue with their winning streak, and speaking through his second assistant, Cedric Kazi, Coach Nabi admits it was a good game with a difficult opponent.
It was a very good game of football, both sides. But I believe, without lacking respect to the opponent, I feel like we could have deserved to get more to 3 points, especially in the second half, where we tried to press more higher to get on the front foot, but we unfortunately couldn't, with the situations that we created, couldn't finish it. But it was a very good game of.
Following the Sundowns move up to the 3rd position on the log with 8 points, 2 behind Chiefs, who are joint top with Sekhukhune United, who played to a 1-0 draw against AmaZulu. Nabi admitted to the fact that Sundowns might be suffering from fatigue, having played Pirates 3 days ago.
It's a fact that maybe there is a fatigue with a team that played 3 days ago, as well a team that played the World Cup and didn't have like a proper pre-season. But we know all the number of players that they have and the quality that they have, and we believe that it's easier for them to replace players.
On to athletics. Sweden's Armand Mondo Duplantis and Australian Nicola Oslegers sealed wins in the Diamond League finals in a high-octane city event in downtown Zurich yesterday. Duplantis, fresh from setting a 13th world record of 6.29 meters in Budapest earlier this month, was competing in one of 6 field disciplines held at the Zurich's Schlossplatz, directly in front of the city's iconic opera house. The US-born Swede had described the pole vault as a beautiful circus act, and the street feel to the event certainly led to a visceral ambience that left the temporary stands shaking amid stomping feet and raucous choreographed cheers. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figile Nwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Exclusive to Africa at Play is our bundle of joy in sport, where we get to speak to the young ones, 12 years and below. And today we've got a special guest, Tebogo Ramasamwana. When did you start playing golf?
I started playing golf when I was 5 years old because my dad inspired me to it, and I really thought I would enjoy it, and really I am.
I take it your dad also plays?
Yes.
What do you like so much about golf?
I like golf because it helps you with the mindset, how to know where you're going, and how to really become strong and fit.
I've also noticed that in family setups, if the father plays football, chances of the son playing football are high. If the father is a golfer, chances of the son being a golfer are high. Did your father influence you to play golf and not any other sporting coach, or you got to see him play and you thought maybe this is the way to go?
The first option was correct.
The first option was correct.
Yeah.
What do you love so much about your father?
I love him because he's really kind and he's really funny, and and he's good at taking care.
Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802. Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Good afternoon. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to visit Zimbabwe this Friday to officiate at the country's 115th edition of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show. This year's show has attracted at least more than 500 exhibitors, including some from Pakistan, Nigeria, Brazil, Ghana, South Africa, Tanzania, India, Malawi, Mozambique, and Zambia. The late former South African President Nelson Mandela officially opened the show in 1994 after his release from prison, thereby making it one of his first foreign diplomatic duties. Later, in 2009, former President Jacob Zuma also officiated at the show. President Ramaphosa's visit was confirmed by Zimbabwe's Information Minister, Janfin Muswere, during a post-cabinet media briefing in Harare.
The show is organized around 5 sections, namely agri-produce, tobacco, cotton, livestock, and commercial exhibition. The show will be officially opened by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa.
South Africa's Impala Platinum has restored dividend payments despite a 70% fall in annual profits on the back of persistently low metal prices and a fall in production. Impala posted headline earnings of $41.68 million in the year ended 30th June, down from $125.7 million the previous year. The company has declared a dividend of just over 9 US cents per share. South Africa's Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Nomalungelo Gina, has delivered a keynote address at the South Africa-Tunisia Women's Day celebration at the Tunisian Embassy in Pretoria. The event, co-hosted by the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation and the Embassy of Tunisia, is held under the theme, The Role of Science Diplomacy in Women Empowerment, a South African-Tunisian Experience. Michael Mbewe reports.
Supported by the Science Diplomacy Capital of South Africa, an initiative of the DSTI, the program will include 2 thematic discussions on how science diplomacy can advance women's empowerment and gender equality.
South African Food Rescue Organization, SA Harvest, has recently received the Top Supply Chain Award for its surplus food rescue efforts, which it reroutes to community organizations. The Africa Supply Chain Excellence Awards conferred the organization with the Judges Spotlight Award and a joint award for humanitarian and health supply chain management. SA Harvest has rescued over 22 million kilograms of food, creating over 90 million meals. Spokesperson Cassandra Potgieter explains how they've managed to promote sustainability for such a long time and what their plans are going forward.
So ASIA, or the African Supply Chain Excellence Award, is a body that basically celebrates all forward-thinking and innovative approaches to all elements of supply chain on the African continent.
The dollar has changed marginally as traders added to bets for a Federal Reserve interest rate reduction next month, after New York Federal Chief John Williams signaled a cut was possible. The U.S. currency has been under renewed pressure from President Donald Trump's ramped-up campaign to exert more influence over monetary policy decisions as he attempts to fire Federal Governor Lisa Cook and replace her with a loyalist. The dollar flattened against the euro even after France's Prime Minister on Monday unexpectedly called a confidence vote for next month, which is likely to result in the fall of his minority government. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,534 naira. In Botswana, it's at 13.31. Kenya, 128 shilling 45. And Zambia, 23 kwacha 33. The BRICS countries in Brazil, the dollar there will cost you 5 ril 43. Russia, 80 rubles 34. India, 87 rupees 71. China, 7 yuan 15. And in South Africa, the dollar will cost you 17 rand 68 cents. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 86 to the euro. Gold is trading at $3,395 and platinum $1,351 per ounce. Brand crude oil is at $67.77 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business here in Johannesburg, I'm Tabiso Lohoko.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628. The KwaZulu-Natal Convention Bureau, in collaboration with Milvest Advisory and the city of Mhlathuze, bring you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum Africa. As a global platform for local action, the Tourism Investment Africa aims to promote the secondary and tertiary cities and regions as attractive investment and tourism hubs. Be part of the movement transforming tourism in Africa. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from August 27 to 29 at Tembela Venue, Richards Bay, KZN, South Africa. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the Upside.
Welcome back to the Upside.
The Upside.
Welcome back to the Upside. Thank you very much for tuning in for our special broadcast as we bring you sights and sounds from the city of Richards Bay here in KZN. We are here to acknowledge the Tourism Investment Forum Africa for the year 2025 in its third year, and we also are going to be in conversation with some of the delegates that are part of this year's occasion between today and tomorrow as the forum unfolds. So the Tourism Investment Forum Africa 2025 is currently underway in the city of Mhlathuze, bringing together global investors, and it's also about business leaders coming together until Friday, which is tomorrow, the 29th of August. The forum is themed tourism and infrastructure investment, driving economic transformation and enhancing community well-being. So we are looking at day one today that features exclusive, or day one rather was yesterday. It had featured exclusive site visits to several high-impact projects across Richards Bay. And today is day two, where the conference is convening at the Itemba venue. Tembela venue. Oh my goodness.
That's the one.
Tembela venue is where we are in Richards Bay, and it's absolutely glorious. Joining us right now in conversation to really talk about how they are shaping the future of KwaZulu-Natal from an economic landscape perspective. We're joined by Lekhuleni Ngwazi, who is the Mhlatuze local municipality mayor, and he's going to talk to us about all things to do with TIFA. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor. How are you?
Good afternoon, my sister and your colleague here, and to the listeners at home.
Thank you. Let's talk about, first of all, just your reaction in terms of TIFA 2025 being hosted in the city of Mhlatuze for this year.
Well, we're very excited as the residents of the city of Mhlatuze, because the TIFA is happening for the first time in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and the provincial government actually helped the city of Mhlatuze in bidding for this event, and finally it is happening here in the city of Mhlatuze, the first of its kind in the province.
The theme for this year, Mr. Ngwezi, is that tourism and infrastructure are going to be the key drivers for transformation, right? When we're thinking about the alignment, what was the main idea and the focus, and perhaps even some specific areas that needed to be aligned with right now, considering that the theme is infrastructure improvement and tourism that will drive the transformation of the area? Were there specific key areas when you found out that TIFA is going to be a part of this that you wanted to focus on for the city of Mhlatuze?
I think generally, my brother, is that across all successful nations or countries, they have invested a lot of funding from infrastructure development. And infrastructure development cut across as a promoter of so many other economic value chains, including tourism. And this city is not only a tourist destination, as you know, it is an industrial port city. And also we needed to align how best then can we look at the infrastructure projects that can also promote tourism in the city of Mhlatuze, and not only in the city of Mhlatuze, but where the city is actually next to some SADC regions like Mozambique, Swaziland. The province of Mpumalanga is very close when you are here. So the infrastructure projects such as the relocation of the airport from where it is now to where we are now, we are actually being advised that possibly the runway of the new airport that the city is implementing will be probably where we are at Tembela venue. So in the future, you might not see this beautiful venue. And that will make it easy for any tourist or for any investor across the world to connect to Richards Bay from any part of the world. It will be easy to fly to Durban and then connect to here, or fly to OR Tambo and connect to where we are now, or anywhere in the part of South Africa and Africa. So it's a lot of projects that we are looking at. Not only the airport, we're looking at, for instance, the International Convention Center, just next to the beach. Yesterday, our investors actually were shown the what we call the sites. The EIAs have been done. We're just at the point where we're supposed to go out and seek for a potential investor. The airport, as I spoke about, is going to be implemented through a PPP. National Treasury has already approved that. The steel bridge, which will make a way possible for the waterfront development along the Alkanstrand beach. And by the way, we pride ourselves as a city by having the deepest port in the whole of Africa. So many of the goods get transported out of the country and in the country through the port of Richards Bay. We are a very significant port north of the KZN province. So people can expect many more things with regards to the projects that are here. And we call upon all the investors to start beginning to view Mmatsheko as the next investment destination, and being one of the cities which will add value in terms of the tourism sites that are here, and also but neighboring areas like Mtuba and Mkanyagote. There is wetland, Smiles Wetland Park. There is the Big Five, follows the game reserves are here. We have some also here, Tula, and that's where we have some rhinos and elephants here in the city of Mmatsheko. So we can speak until when the sun sets.
That's wonderful. I want us to just take a break, and then when we return, we're going to look at just the response, from those that are attending, the business investors that are attending. What is their response to what they are seeing, so that we can talk about the future of investment in the province overall of KZN, particularly in the local municipality of Mmatsheko. In conversation with Lekhuleni, who is Mmatsheko local municipality mayor. We'll be right back.
Stella Longwe, Pamalonje.
Palitu sokoma pano pamalonje kumvera nyimbo za mu Afro pano pamalonje ndiyetu apa tili ndi katswiri oyimba ameneyu ndi katswiri wa dziko la Malawi amene akukhala mdziko la South Africa, ndipo amayimba amene akuti ndi Big Nick Malawi. Yatiuzani kuti kodi moyo wanu woyimba ukuyenda bwanji mu Johannesburg?
Moyo woyimba ukuyenda bwinobwino kwambiri, chiliyonse chikutheka ndithu bwinobwino.
Ayi aziwoneka chiliyonse chikutheka mofa magrasi anu apa mwaka akuti kumenya yonse aziwoneka zoti azikutheka ndithu mu Johannesburg.
Malonje pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo. Lowiruka ndi Stella Longwe. The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Thank you very much for staying with us. And if you've just tuned in, you are listening to Channel Africa or watching Channel Africa on YouTube as well as Facebook. Wonderful to have you here. Otherwise, if you're listening from any other part of the region, we are on channelafrica.co.za or available on satellite, channel PAS 10 across the various satellite platforms on the continent. We are speaking to Lekhuleni, who is Mmatsheko, the local municipality mayor, and he's just talking to us about, just the forum and its importance in the municipality, what opportunities are available, what's happening. This whole venue is going to turn into an airport runway, which is exciting when you look at matters around social and economic development in the municipality. Mr. Mayor, let's talk about just where we left off in terms of what kind of response you have seen so far from investors and business leaders that are attending the forum.
I think personally, although this is day 2 of the conference, but the response by different investors and stakeholders that are here is quite very positive. And in 2021, when I was inaugurated as the mayor, I did indicate that at that time we will ensure that in the next 5 years we grow the economy in the city of Mmatsheko to become the second biggest economy in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. And by the efforts that the city has actually put in place, by the second year of my term of office, the economy of the city of Mmatsheko is number 2 as we speak. So everyone now is beginning to understand that there need to be a special focus in investment in the city of Mmatsheko. And my advice could be that, because issues of investment first come, first served. So they need to run faster, because if they don't do that, then they will find things so much expensive in the future. You know, when investments comes, there is a lot of investment that has happened. You know, properties may become to be very expensive, and I think the sooner the better.
The sooner the better, Tebogo.
The sooner the better.
Hey,
why are you pointing at me?
We need to get properties, otherwise they're going to get more
He's the man we should be talking to about getting property around here in the Richards Bay area. Personally, Mayor, where do you see Richards Bay in the next 5 to 10 years? Because I know when you started in 2021, you already had a vision where you want to see in the next 5 years up until 2026. But in the next 5 years from now, 2025, 2030, 2035, where do you see the city of Mmatsheko as an economic player in South Africa, in Africa? What are your personal hopes?
Well, firstly, I think in the next 10 years, this city will become a metro.
Okay.
I really think that with the efforts that are being put in growing the economy of the city of Mmatsheko, I'm hopeful that in the next 10 years we must qualify to become a metro. And I really think that even some neighboring municipalities, like Mfolozi municipality, is about 20 kilometers from where we are, and it's along the coast. The city will swallow that and become one municipality, which will become a coastal metro. And its economy, I know, will then become a home to many more industries that will be added, which are housed at Mfolozi. The economy will even grow bigger than that. The IDZ itself alone, which is a partner to us, but also an entity of provincial government, is having about 250 billion rand worth of investment in the pipeline.
Wow.
And some investments have already started happening, like Velma, which supplies South Africa with oil, and then it is transported to many other parts of the country. Nyanza is already starting to happen, which will then turn some products which are produced by a big company here called RBM. It's going to be happening here. The gas power plant, for instance, that Eskom wants to implement is being implemented here in the city of Mmatsheko.
Oh, wow.
3,000 megawatts, and that will give rise to job opportunities worth 7,000. So you can only realize then that just these investments alone will attract quite a lot of people. So those who trade on accommodation facilities, what we have is actually a drop in the ocean. I foresee this community, as we are somewhere around 600,000, becoming at least 1 million plus in the next 10 years, because we'll attract quite a lot of people coming into the city. So, not only that which I'm talking about, the port expansion master plan, which will see the port of Richards Bay expanding by at least 2 times what it is, and currently it's employing plus minus 7,000 people, so you might expect about 14,000 jobs in the city of Mmatsheko in the future. So the future looks very bright. But of course, my advice to my colleagues and to the provincial government and other spheres of government could be that we will only achieve all this provided the city of Mmatsheko's political leadership is stable, because there is no investor that wants to invest in an area that has instability. The province must be stable as well, like we are seeing now. The country must be stable, like we are seeing now. And so I'm trying to say, in an area where there is instability, there can be no investment. In an area where there is crime, there can be no investment. Therefore, the efforts that Prementoli in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, together with his executive council and government, that they are putting in the fight against crime, is beginning to yield fruits now. And I can also appeal to our communities to say they must partner with law enforcement agencies in the fight against crime. GBV and many other issues that are affecting our place, and that wherever there are issues of misunderstanding or lack of service delivery, we can't destroy what we have because we want more. We must preserve what we have, but continue to seek for more, because these billions we're talking about comes after a very big sweat. and it can't be easy to destroy it. We are building for the next generation. So even those that will come after me in 2026, our term of office ends in 2026 November 2. The IEC has already said that. At the back of their minds must always, to grow our economy. It is when our economy is growing that our people can find jobs. The unemployed graduates, and many other issues that we can fight crime if we've got, a stable economy, and it must grow, because if our economy continues to grow at the rate at which it is growing, the population is growing above the rate of the growth of the economy. Therefore, at a particular time, we will see a lot of South Africans, or even the people from this city, going outside the country where the economies are able to absorb them and give them opportunities. Like previously, we never knew that doctors and engineers will want to go to countries like Australia, China, and so on to seek for opportunities. So all the efforts we're putting and all the efforts that must be put, at least in the next 20, 30 years, should be efforts that are going to grow the economy so that we can multiply jobs. We shouldn't have a situation whereby those who eat the cake are multiplying, but the cake is decreasing.
Okay.
There must be a balance.
Thank you, Honourable Mayor. Thank you very much for your work. I think it's very exciting. Already as we speak, there is so much happening. The excitement around trade, import and export is also incredibly exciting. All the best for the remainder of the forum, as it were, and with the projects going forward. We would love to return and see what else is happening.
Please call again, and please spend your money here in the city of
It is done already. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It is 2 p.m. in Central African time. This is us entering the middle hour of our show. Thank you for staying with us. It's 2 p.m. Jolane Tulongwepe is standing by with the latest news.
The African Perspective.
Thank you, Mmatsheko. Our top story is a Sawa candidate of Tanzania's second biggest opposition party barred from elections, and Indonesians take to the streets again. Good afternoon. Tanzania's Electoral Commission has barred the presidential candidate of its second biggest opposition party, Luhaga Mpina, of the Alliance for Change and Transparency from contesting polls in October. This leaves President Samia Suluhu Hassan to face only candidates from smaller parties. The vote will be held without the participation of leading opposition party Chadema, which was disqualified in April after failing to sign the Electoral Code of Conduct as part of its call for electoral reforms. The Independent National Electoral Commission approved Hassan and her running mate Emmanuel Nchimbi to run in the October 29 election after receiving their nomination forms yesterday. South Africa's National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says they're relooking at strategies to deal with the ongoing taxi violence and gang-related shooting incidents in the Western Cape province. Masemola was speaking on day 2 of the 27th Interpol conference currently underway in Cape Town. He says over 200 police officers from outside the Western Cape province have been deployed in the past month to help combat the increase in gang violence. Masemola says their main priority now is to arrest all gang members and not just gang leaders.
The resources we do have, what we have here, we think we can be able to tackle the gang violence in the Western Cape. Of course, we're also going to tap on other government departments to come on board, deal with other social matters, issues that are of a problem, and especially issues of environmental design, accessibility in terms of policing, and of course also the kids that don't go to school that becomes vulnerable and become victims for gangs to recruit and use them. So that doesn't require police and these other departments.
Still in South Africa, the International Relations and Cooperation Department is hosting a memorial service for the late Ambassador Mninwa Mahlangu in Pretoria. Mahlangu passed away on Monday. He was South Africa's High Commissioner in Kenya when he passed on. His journey began as a student activist, and he went on to play a pivotal role in shaping a new democratic South Africa. DIRCO Minister Ronald Lamola says Mahlangu was part of the group that drafted the country's post-apartheid constitution and was elected the first democratic parliament in 1994.
His legacy is one of unwavering dedication and love for his country, The late Ambassador Mahlangu was a true patriot whose love for our country shone through in the manner in which he went about executing our foreign policy. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the late Ambassador Mahlangu's family, friends and colleagues who worked alongside him.
The South African National Editors Forum, SANEF, has paid tribute to Eyewitness News Associate Political Editor Tsidi Madia. Madia died in hospital yesterday after a short illness at the age of 42. SANEF says her death is a profound loss to the media fraternity and to South Africa as a whole. In a statement released, the forum hails her as a formidable and respected voice in the country's political landscape who led by example and also demonstrated a commitment to ethical journalism and upholding the highest standards. SANEF has extended its heartfelt condolences to the family, friends and colleagues at Eyewitness News and Prime Media. And finally, people have taken to the streets in Indonesia for the second time this week to protest against what they see as excessive pay and benefits for lawmakers. The BBC's Astu Destra Ajen Gastri has the story.
The demonstrations were initially led by labor alliances demanding a minimum wage increase in 2026. As of now, the labor protesters have mostly left the street, but more student groups are now arriving at the scene. They are targeting what they see as lawmakers' lavish lifestyle, with many criticizing parliamentary perks and allowances that can reach up to 30 times the average worker's wage. More than 4,000 police officers have been deployed across the capital.
Recapping the top story this hour, Tanzania's Electoral Commission has barred the presidential candidate of its second biggest opposition party, Luhaga Mpina, of the Alliance for Change and Transparency from contesting polls in October. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Cholani Tulo Wepe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Well, it's 7 minutes of. Well, it's 7 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the second hour, the golden hour of The Upside on Channel Africa, the African Perspective with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. We are still coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios. We are not at the Auckland Park Studios, far from it actually. We are from the Tembela. We're broadcasting from the Tembela venue in the city of Mhlathuze in Richards Bay, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. For day 2 of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa 2025, we just had a conversation with the mayor of the city of Mhlathuze, and in this hour we are going to get into conversation with the ambassador of the UAE, that's the United Arab Emirates, to the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency Ambassador Mahash Saeed Al Hameli. and he's going to tell us about their involvement at this year's TIFA and what they are hoping for the region of the city of Mhlathuze. Do you think he's going to give us gold as like is from the UAE?
If he doesn't offer it, we will ask. That is guaranteed.
He must be carrying some sort of memorabilia, some gold that he can give to us.
100%. And also where he comes from is a wonderful place to learn in terms of how to draw in tourism and investment.
Tourism.
So he's definitely an asset when it comes to the delegation that is gathered here this afternoon. So stick around for that conversation. Any comments that you'd like to throw our way? Perhaps you are an expert or have experience with regards to tourism-related matters. Your hopes for investment, not only in KwaZulu, but anywhere on the African continent. What does investment mean for you? What would you like to see, being investment going towards? Young people, digital innovation. I don't know. It could be anything. Let us know on social media. If you are tuning in live, we would love to hear from you. Drop us a comment on our Facebook Live, our YouTube Live. You can also go in our Twitter for our suggestion box there. Hashtag The Upside and drop your comments there.
I think having him as a blueprint, that's the ambassador of the UAE to South Africa. Remember, at some point, the UAE and the Dubais were thriving off the oil. And then at some point, they started thriving off tourism. One of the biggest contributors, tourism, and then being a port for businesses to transport their goods and send their goods through the ports of the UAE and Dubai. So they are the ideal blueprint. What's happening in the UAE and in Dubai, we want to pick some of their ideas and maybe imprint it here in the Richards Bay area. So it's going to be an exciting conversation. Stay tuned for that. It's 10 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Your afternoons just got even better. Fresh air.
Mix Vibration sur Channel Africa.
C'est notre invité du jour, la belle Aïna Mwenze. Elle est là. Certaines l'appellent Boss Lady.
Bonjour Monsieur Jolino.
Parlez-nous un tout petit peu de vous.
Je m'appelle Boss Lady Aïna. Je mets l'accent sur le nom de Boss Lady parce que je mérite cela après le travail fait. Et c'est une rémunération en titre de la personne que je suis devenue aujourd'hui. Épouse et une mère de 4 garçons. Et voilà ce que je peux dire pour l'instant.
Et vous vous êtes lancée dans le business. Comment c'est venu?
En tant que mère et se retrouvant dans les pays étrangers, particulièrement en Afrique du Sud, je me disais que laisser les enfants sur la charge des travailleurs ou d'une bonne, ça serait pas très intéressant. Je me dis, je dois essayer de m'organiser et trouver un emploi que je peux faire.
Mix Vibration, tous les dimanches de 18h à 19h. Temps universel.
Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa.
Stone boy, Wycliffe. Catch a vibe on the dance floor. Catch a vibe on the dance floor. Catch a vibe on the dance floor. Catch a vibe, yeah.
Pray for me, my brother, when you see say I dey enter. Yow, yow, yow. Pray for me, my sister, when you see say I dey enter. Yow, yow, yow. 'Cause life can get so hard, but still worth living. Still worth living. 'Cause life can get so tough, but still worth living. Still worth living. This life that we live in mysterious. The things we deserve are not meant for us. The bigger system now pamper us. That's why some people so treacherous. So anywhere we step, we are dangerous. Man stepping as a soldier, conqueror. God busting at the door with the mentorage. Revolutionary minded Sankara. 'Cause life can get so hard, but still worth living. Still worth living. 'Cause life can get so tough, but still worth living. Still worth living. Pray for me, my brother, when you see say I dey enter. Yow,
so by design. Refugees, man, I'm caught up in the gun line. I'm with the tribe, we come to free up the system. Cause the prisons are the new plantations. Daughters are raising no fathers. Single mother gotta be the provider. Back 11 every time that he walk up. Bring a new meaning to the world's on my shoulder. I'm from the concrete jungle, the land I know, man. Hollywood, get a straight, man. Thousand was a black man. Struggle on the boat, DEA want the coat. I'm a vote, not even Da Vinci could break the code. I'm a stone boy, highest grade of marijuana. I've been through the dungeon slaves out in Ghana. Thank you, mama, for giving me the passage. In LA, they could've got me like Christopher Wallace.
Pray for me, my brother, when you see, say I didn't enter. Yo, 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 pray for me, my sister, when you see, say I didn't enter. Yo, 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 this life can get so hard, but still worth living, still worth living. This life can get so tough, but still worth living, still worth living.
We on the video shoot. I'm just freestyling. I'm wilding. Y'all know my whole style, man.
Make us say that one not freestyling. We not in no styling. We not in no darling. We not in no.
It is 15 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. The name of that song is called Pray for Time. The name of that song is called Pray for Me by Stone Boy and Wyclef John. If you are streaming us from our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok, and you're like, no man guys, your studio looks different today. And that's because we are not in Auckland Park. We are in the city of Mhlathuze, the Tembela venue to be precise, for day 2 of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa, and we're having a fantastic time. We're having great conversations, important conversations with really influential delegates who are part of this year's TIFA 2025, and we'll continue to bring you the latest on what's happening on the ground here at the Tembela venue. Before we continue with our conversations, though, we decided that it's time for What Caught Your Eye. I would imagine quite a few things would have caught your eye today, because look at the venue. Let's start there.
Lots of things are catching my eye. Lots.
Did I catch you there?
Including investment. Investment is catching my eye for sure. But yeah, so much to talk about. I really just want to acknowledge the passing of Sidimadia. She was a South African journalist of the finest quality, might I add. South African political journalist who really has had an impact and really understood the supremacy of the seat that she occupied as a journalist and the responsibility that it comes with. So it was very sad to find out yesterday that at the very young age of 42, in fact, I think yesterday
42
was her birthday, if I'm not mistaken.
No, don't say that.
I think it was actually her birthday yesterday, and I beg your pardon if I am mistaken, but I think it was Sidimadia's birthday yesterday. She was born in 83, which means she passed away at the age of 42, very incredibly young. You know, so much life still, so much contribution still to offer the South African political space. She was, at the time of her passing, she was working as an associate editor at one of the big media houses in the country. But even if you are perhaps listening from a different part of the African region and you don't know who Sidimadia is, I think this moment just really reminds us to think about all the other African journalists that have passed away. We know that journalism is quite a touchy subject on the African continent, with the killings of journalists, the censorship of journalism on our African continent. So this is the time to really reflect on that space and what it means and how much we actually know, because there is good quality journalism that exists. So with that said, I really just wanted to take them a moment to acknowledge her. I think she was fierce. being black and female, and journalism at that standard, and also just the work, to acknowledge the work and the conditions under which journalists do this work is also something that we need to acknowledge. Very dangerous circumstances that journalists find themselves in repeatedly. So may his soul rest in peace.
Condolences to the Madia family. You know you have made it in life when the president of your country also acknowledges you. Because Cyril Ramaphosa also acknowledged the passing of Tsidi Madia on his social media platforms, and we think that's quite, you've made an impact to the people around you, and also in the space of journalism in the country. She was fierce. She didn't back down for nobody, and she held people accountable, and that was beautiful. That is journalism at its core. It's now 19 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's take a quick breather. When we get back, I will share what caught my eye, and you have no right to judge.
Okay.
They talk about what Africans
Cette peur d'un point de non-retour nucléaire suffit-elle selon vous à légitimer une telle offensive, Monsieur Talati?
Absolument pas du tout. Cela fait plus de 30 ans que l'Israël crie haut et fort sur les toits, où il veut se faire entendre que l'Iran serait à 1 an pour obtenir l'arme nucléaire. Parfois, l'Iran serait à 6 mois. Parfois, l'Iran serait à 2 semaines pour obtenir son arme nucléaire. Et curieusement, jusqu'à ce jour, il n'y a toujours aucune preuve que l'Iran a obtenu cette arme nucléaire en dépit des déclarations d'Israël et de certaines puissances parfois.
Vue d'Afrique, du lundi au vendredi de 15h à 16h, temps universel.
The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Well, it's 21 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. We're still coming to you live. Well, it's 21 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. We're still coming to you live from the Tembela venue in the city of Umhlathuze in Richards Bay, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, for day 2 of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa. As you can see, we've got our little tags there. Yeah, that means we are accredited. Don't just walk in here, because there are ambassadors and there are mayors and influential human beings around here. But we will be keeping you in the loop with what's happening, the conversations on the ground with the delegates themselves. Here's what caught my eye. If you'd like to share what caught your eye, you're more than welcome. Send us a WhatsApp, +27 63 406 9126, or alternatively, drop us a comment below on our social media platforms at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok and at Channel Africa on Facebook and on YouTube. So, there's a young man by the name of Mosito who made history as the first person to complete a 100-kilometer run in under 6 hours. He ran like 5 hours 59 minutes, something like that, and he broke the record, smashed it. He became the first person to do so, and we say congratulations to Mosito. What a run that is! That's about 3 kilometers. About 3 kilometers. Somewhere there. I lost my mathematics there for a second. But what I'm trying to say is that he runs quicker than I could ever. My kilometer, I run a kilometer in like 5-6 minutes. That's me running.
I don't even want to say.
That's about
just
6 minutes.
Embarrassing, y'all.
Mosito runs a kilometer in about 3 minutes for this particular race. And that is super quick, considering the stamina that you needed to have to run a whole 100 kilometers in less than 6 hours. But instead of congratulating Mosito and celebrating him, social media went after his techies, his shoes, his sneakers. So I'm going to read you some of the comments. He was jogging in the shoes they call the Adidas Adizero Evo Prime X running shoe.
Those look very...
That's what it looks like, and I'm hoping
great.
that I hope that you'll see it on your screen as well, right? They don't look bad.
Decent.
But let me read you some of the comments. Imagine how fast he would have run. He would have been if he wasn't wearing two Titanics on his feet. This is a comment by Nicola Renzo Rossi on social media. Never mind, that's his name. He is wearing a MSC cruise ship sneakers. Right? No, it gets even worse. Mike says, why is he wearing brake pads? And then another person, good job Adidas setting up this bra with the Trappa van Vergeleken faster, fastest. Trappa van Vergeleken tekkie. Faster, fastest. Trappa van Vergeleken in Afrikaans means degrees of comparison.
Right.
So they said that they gave him the faster, fastest shoe because of the shape of the shoe. How rude are human beings sometimes?
Oh my God. No, but
it doesn't look that bad, does it? Look at it.
I've got to say that I think the comments are hilarious. I honestly think they're funny. But that is the thing about South Africans, is we take the mickey out of everything. Okay, we take the mickey out of everything.
We're not serious.
No, we're really not serious. I mean, South Africa should just be a film, not a country. But that's a story for another day. But we really just take the mickey out of all kinds of things. And I like the fact that there's nothing, inherently negative about the comments. They really are just mocking the shoe and having fun with the shoe. But that really doesn't take away from the moment. I think it's beautiful. I think it also contributes to highlighting that clearly the shoes had something to do with them, to do with the win. The Trappa van Vergeleken. Listen to me, like I didn't get an A in Afrikaans in high school. But yes, it is good that he won, and I think it's just incredible. Is he like half man, half cheetah? I mean, like, how fast does one person have to be? That is just amazing.
These ultra marathons, we're not used to them. We're used to half marathons.
Yes.
We're used to full marathons, about 42 kilometers, 100 kilometers. That's going beyond human being. Like, you are now on another level. But congratulations to Mosiso Kubeka, and let us know on our social media platform. Comment below. Do you think these shoes that he was wearing, the sneakers, they are Trappa van Vergeleken? Give us your verdict on our social media platform at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. It's 26 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Some music coming your way before we get the sports update.
Roach Beats.
Early mama na your phone, I they call, baby. 247, it be you, I they want, baby. While I know yawa for you, baby. Chai pack well and balance well for me. Baby, baby, oh baby. Baby, baby. Baby, baby, oh baby. Baby, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh baby. Baby, baby, oh baby. Chai back well and balance well for me.
I want you to pull me closer, baby. Oh, miss you, I can't lie. We don't build love where distance no fit corrupt. No yawa, oh, baby, tell me no yawa, oh. Back well and balance well for me.
Yeah, I know say things no balance, but you don't try for me. Yeah, yeah, and I go give you joy, cause I know strong man go there for me.
Yeah, good for you. No go give you story. Wanna give you story now. So back well and balance well for me.
Yeah, baby,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Baby, baby,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Baby, baby, oh baby, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh baby, 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 oh baby.
Child, back well and balance well for me.
The name of the song is called Baby. Hey, when am I baby? By Davido featuring Tiwa Savage and My Baby by Davido featuring Tiwa Savage and Burna Boy. It is now 29 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. We are still hanging out at the beautiful Tembela venue in the city of Umhlatuze in Richards Bay, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa for day 2 of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa for 2025. And we'll be giving you the latest on the ground with important delegates and those who have a vested interest. We'd love to hear from the exhibitors. We'll probably have conversations, if not today, tomorrow, to find out how this forum is going to impact them directly on the ground. For now, it's 30 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest sport with Figile Lingwati.
Perspective.
First is football news. Bafana coach Hugo Broos has announced his 23-man squad for the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Lesotho and Nigeria in Bloemfontein in September. South Africa hosts Lesotho on the 5th of September at the Free State Stadium before welcoming continental giants Nigeria to the same venue 4 days later in what could prove decisive for their qualifying campaign. Captain Ronwin Williams headlines the selection, while the absence of defender Khuliso Mudau is glaring amid his ongoing omission from the Sundowns squad this season. There's a strong Sundowns and Orlando Pirates presence in the squad, with the two domestic giants contributing the bulk of the defensive and attacking options. Kaizer Chiefs coach Nasreddin Nabi sat on the bench for the first time in the 2025-2026 season as his troops played to a 0-0 draw against defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns at FNB Stadium last night. Nabi missed the opening 3 games due to family commitment back home in Tunisia. And assistant coach Cedric Kazi said it was a good game with a difficult opponent.
It was a very good game of football, both sides. But I believe, without lacking respect to the opponent, I feel like we could have deserved to get more to 3 points, especially in the second half, where we tried to press more higher to get on the front foot, but we unfortunately couldn't, with the situations that we created, couldn't finish it. But it was a very good game of.
Following the Sundowns move up to the 3rd position on the log with 8 points, 2 behind Chiefs, who are joint top with Sekhukhune United, who played to a 1-0 draw against Amazulu. Nabi admitted to the fact that Sundowns might be suffering from fatigue, having played Pirates 3 days ago.
It's a fact that maybe there is a fatigue with a team that played 3 days ago, as well a team that played the World Cup and didn't have like a proper pre-season. But we know all the number of players that they have and the quality that they have, and we believe that it's easier for them to replace players.
On to netball news. SABC Sport has established that World Netball has issued an invoice demanding Netball South Africa pay for legal fees for the preliminary investigation conducted on suspended President Cecilia Molokwane. Molokwane was suspended in April amid a disciplinary process opened against her by World Netball following anonymous allegations made to the world governing body. In correspondence seen by the public broadcaster, the invoice reflects the hearing was conducted on the 6th of August 2025, with the outcome expected to be finalized by World Netball around December 2025. And finally, with rugby news, the Wallabies coaches have confirmed a handful of players have been added to the squad for the upcoming Rugby Championship test against Argentina. The group is mostly consistent from the one that toured South Africa over the past fortnight, with a small handful of changes due to players returning from injury or replacing those who sustained injuries during the last 2 tests. Experienced prop Alan Alala-Toa will provide leadership in his return to the group, with 22-year-old fly half Tom Linak also rejoining the squad, having started all 3 tests during this year's British and the Irish Lions. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figede Lengwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Mosito and Tebogo Lekhuleni on the upside. Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Good afternoon. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to visit Zimbabwe this Friday to officiate the country's 115th edition of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show. This year's show has attracted at least more than 500 exhibitors, including some from Pakistan, Nigeria, Brazil, Ghana, South Africa, Tanzania, India, Malawi, Mozambique and Zambia. The late former South African President Nelson Mandela officially opened the show in 1994 after his release from prison, thereby making it one of his first foreign diplomatic duties. Later, in 2009, former President Jacob Zuma also officiated at the show. President Ramaphosa's visit was confirmed by Zimbabwe's Information Minister, Jenfen Muswere, during a post-cabinet media briefing in Harare.
The show is organized around 5 sections, namely agri-produce, tobacco, cotton, livestock, and commercial exhibition. The show will be officially opened by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa.
South Africa's Impala Platinum has restored dividend payments despite a 70% fall in annual profits on the back of persistently low metal prices and a fall in production. Impala posted headline earnings of $41.68 million in the year ended the 30th of June, down from $125.7 million the previous year. The company has declared a dividend of just over 9 US cents per share. South Africa's Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Nomalungelo Gina, has delivered a keynote address at the South Africa-Tunisia Women's Day celebration at the Tunisian Embassy in Pretoria. The event, co-hosted by the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation and the Embassy of Tunisia, is held under the theme, The Role of Science Diplomacy in Women Empowerment, South African-Tunisian Experience. Michael Mbewe reports.
Supported by the Science Diplomacy Capital of South Africa, an initiative of the DSTI, the program will include 2 thematic discussions on how science diplomacy can advance women's empowerment and gender equality.
Global equities were modestly higher, sidestepping a wobble in the tech sector stocks after the results of bellwether Nvidia fell short of some analysts' expectations, sending its shares lower in out-of-hours trading. The MSCI World Equity Index was up 0.1% and Pan-European Stocks 600 rose 0.4%, while equity futures pointed to a steady start for S&P 500 and Nasdaq Composite Index Cs. Nvidia's shares were down 2.2% in U.S. pre-market trading as uncertainty over its China businesses clouded a better than expected revenue forecast for the next quarter. India's finance ministry says that the ripple effect of U.S. tariffs is a challenge in the short term, though the effects might taper off eventually. This comes as 50% import duties on Indian goods came into effect yesterday. The US says half of this is a penalty on India for continuing to trade with BRICS partner Russia. Foreign correspondent Ishan Garg tells us more from New Delhi.
New Delhi was hit with 25% retaliatory tariffs on August 1, and the other 25% came into effect on Wednesday. The US says that the new levies are meant to deter New Delhi from buying Russian oil and weapons.
$1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,534 naira, Botswana 13.31, Kenya 128 shilling 45, and Zambia 23 kwacha 33. The BRICS countries and Brazil, the dollar will cost you 5 ruble 43, Russia 80 rubles 34, India 87 rupees 71, China 7 yuan 15, and in South Africa the dollar will cost you 17 rand 68 cents. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 86 to the euro. Gold is trading at $3,395 and platinum $1,351 per ounce. Brand crude oil is at $67.77 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Tabisolo Hoku.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Broadcasting in 5 different languages, connecting the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective. 9 to 12 midday, Central African Time. On the move with Palisa Tau and Benjamin Mushata.
Should influencers be expected to be impactful in society? If there is a social or societal conversation that goes up, should we be waiting eagerly to hear what the influencers have to say?
They are more than just entertainers. They are thought leaders to some certain degree. They influence culture. They influence people's thought processes. They set trends. They shape opinions of people. And the sad reality is, although a lot of them don't want to accept it, I think we're getting better with them realizing that they're embarking in that journey. And in that space comes with a certain level of responsibility.
I see it differently in that, professionals are already good at their job, but there is an optionality that they might have to use the position that they hold in society to be able to deliver a message. This year you made the example of actors and actresses. So the same could apply to a sportsman. Just because someone's good at soccer doesn't mean that they have to have an influence over society from a specific standpoint.
Keeping you on the know and on the move. No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you.
Well, it is 42 minutes after 2 p.m. Central. Well, it is 42 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. We're still coming to you live from the Tembela venue in the city of Mhlathuze in Richards Bay, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. Try saying that 5 times in a row. I promise you, you're going to run out of words very quickly. But it's day 2 of the conference, and we have with us, sitting right next to us, the acting tourism or acting CEO of the KZN television. No, I lie. The KwaZulu-Natal Tourism and Film Authority, Mr. Sbusiso Gumbi. And he was appointed to the interim position following the merger of KwaZulu-Natal Tourism and the Film Commission in June 2024. And we just want to talk to him about the significance of having the TIFA here from a tourism and a film point of view. Mr. Gumbi, thank you so much for your time and welcome to The Upside.
Oh, thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
What does it mean to you, the significance of having the TIFA, Tourism Investment Forum Africa, in the city of Mhlathuze from the point of view of tourism and film coming together?
No, thank you very much. Well, as the province of KwaZulu-Natal, we are very excited that we are the host of the TIFA. As you would know, we are one of the provinces that is full of heritage and is full of attraction when it comes to tourism.
Yeah.
there have been quite a number of programs in terms of packages for tourism that we have been eager in trying to find the funding model that could assist. So this forum is an appropriate forum because it's where we are able to sell our projects and it's where we are able to ensure that we engage with the sector with an intention of securing the funding. But more than anything, we have always been known as a province that normally hosts such events at Tebogo. And it's high time that we show off that we are a huge province that is full of beauty. As we are here in the district of King Cetshwayo, you could see the beauty, you could see that even the sea is not far. But at the same time, you have this warmth of being home while we are far from home. So it's become a home.
Mr. Gumbi, I want you to just find out about the merger between the KZN Film Commission and the tourism sector. I think that's quite a powerful collaboration. So just elaborate on the significance of that for now and the future under one authority.
Well, the intention for us and for those that are in high powers in terms of policy formulation was really to start to simplify it and say you cannot really divorce tourism with film because at some point you need film production show off so that you can be able to show off the tourism locations. So for us, that was a powerful approach. That's why, for example, you have quite a number of film production that we support as a province. And as they are being shown off on TV or in any platform, you are able to see the locations of the province, and that provoke the tourists to say, oh, this is beautiful, how could I access that destination? So for us, it's really a package that is very important. And we are using film to tell stories of our province, and we are using film to promote the destination of our province.
Mr. Gumbi, how are you ensuring, and perhaps even in the next couple of years, how will you ensure that the tourism and the film authority, the initiatives and also the initiatives that will come from TIFA and the investment that will come from TIFA, how will you ensure that it benefits the locals as well?
It has always been our intention to make sure that when we fund a project or when we develop a project, we have a long-term sustainability mentality of making sure that it brings the livelihood to the communities. And we want to make sure that as we implement the project, the participation of communities are also guaranteed. That's why we always spend more time in feasibility studies, in analyzing the value chain and the benefit that the community will be able to accrue in our processes. But we have also even went further to have a special program of SMEs and also the development of CTOs within the communities, where we are training them in tourism and where we are assisting in packaging the simplest programs around tourism so that they could be able to realize that they can be ambassadors of tourism before we could say we are expecting visitors. They need to enjoy their backyard as well. So, it's very important.
Very, very important indeed. Okay, if you've just started listening, thank you very much for tuning in. So we are acknowledging the fact that in June of last year, so it's been a little over a year, the KwaZulu-Natal province, as it were, saw the merger of the KZN Tourism and the KZN Film Commission forming alliances together, okay, and leading this new entity. And its interim phase, as we see it right now, is the acting CEO, Mr. Mosito. And we're really talking about insights, about merging, and of course their participation in this year's Tourism Investment Forum Africa. We're back after this.
Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter?
Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard?
Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406. Be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So yeah, that's who I am, you know. Turned 30 on the 15th of November. So yeah, that's who I am, you know.
Your opinion. Engage with the community that values your perspective. Follow us on our social media. Visit our website at www.channelafrica. Follow us on our social media. Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co. Perspective.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito. Only on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Well, it's 10 minutes before... Well, it's 10 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African Time. We're still coming to you live from the beautiful venue. It's called Tembela Venue in the city of Mhlathuze in Richards Bay, KwaZulu-Natal for day 2 of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa. And we continue our conversations with very important delegates who are part of this forum, just to walk us through their anticipations, their hopes for the area of KwaZulu-Natal through a forum like TIFA. And we continue our conversation with Mr. Kumbi.
100%. Okay, there I am. Jele, I just want to ask you, I'm not going to ask too many questions, but I want to know that as you lead the interim of this particular merger between the two entities, you know, what legacy would you like your leadership to leave KZN and its people? Because I think as we heard you speak, this is going to be quite a long journey and many other innovations are going to filter through over the years.
Well, for us, what will really be key is to make sure that we increase the numbers of our visitors in the province. We want to surpass the 2019 pre-COVID figures. And we also have analyzed that while we are a province that attract international visitors, but we should also make sure that we concentrate on the domestic market as well, where we can be able to increase our numbers. But secondly is to facilitate the improvement and the investment on tourism infrastructure, and to also use the culture and heritage as a spin-off for community participation.
Mr. Gumbi, we see, and I want to touch specifically on the film side, because of Tourism and Film Authority. I want to touch on the film side. We see a lot of our communities and our societies being shaped by the stories that we watch on television, when we are filled with so much pride, when we see our cultures represented, when we see internationals come to KwaZulu-Natal or South Africa to shoot here. From a creative point of view, we always had the problem of artists and creatives, actors not really being recognized in terms of being rewarded for the work they're doing. Many of them are still seen as freelancers in this space. They're not able to create a livelihood, a proper solid livelihood for themselves because of the structures that are currently in place. When we want to develop the Film Authority in South Africa, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, in knowing that they contribute to the economy, knowing that they contribute to our society's the way of looking at life, what are you going to do and ensure is in place programs to ensure that the artists don't struggle when they express themselves creatively for the purposes of entertainment and for information?
Well, from our side, there's no doubt that the film sector is one of the pillars of the economy of the country and specifically of the province. Yeah. We have seen quite a number of creative artists being produced, especially in the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
Of course, yes.
But what we have also observed is that we don't sustain them. They would have to go to other provinces to look for opportunities. What has been key to us as the entity is to start to focus in making sure that we create some sort of a film fund where we could allow them to access funding so that they could be able to be assisted either in the development and in the production of their films. But secondly, we have also realized that for someone to survive in this industry, you need to make sure that you develop a capacity building programs where you also assist and shape them, where you could also start to say to have an acting skill also requires you to have the financial background so that you can be able to manage your funds. So we work close with the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture so that we don't interface to their space of developmental programs as well. But over and above, we felt that the infrastructure of film studios in the province is one of the limitations. Hence, you'll see that in the next 2 years, we will be going all out, attracting private sector investment on the film studios. Last week, for example, the executive of the province, led by the MEC and the Premier, they went to Western Cape to study the film studio that is currently there at Western Cape, because already in our province there is land that has been identified and the positive things are coming. So that's how we want to make sure that we use the artists. But look to quite a number of renowned artists who are making names overseas, your Black Coffee, the Mambazos. Those for us are some of the ambassadors that could be used to promote the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
100%.
And currently there is Ushaga Ilembe that is being staged. I'm sure most people keep on calling to say, hey, where is that mountain that is appearing? That on its own, it's a reflection of how could you use film just to promote your destination.
I love that.
Right, yes, I love the approach. I think this is just so wonderful and very refreshing to see a merge of industries that were not supposed to be separate to begin with. Tourism and film really go together. It's not each sold separately. Siyabonga Jele, thank you so much for your work.
Oh, thank you very much.
And we are looking forward to seeing what is possible and the potentiality unfold.
Definitely. We also need to thank you and continue to be the ambassador of tourism in the country and also in the region.
You can that one you can count on us. That one you can count on us. The acting CEO of the KwaZulu-Natal Tourism and Film Authority, Mr. Mosito Gumbi. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue our conversations with the important delegates at the TIFA 2025. It is day number 2. Don't go anywhere. Let's take a quick breather before we get the latest news with Jwalani Tulongwepe.
The Upside.
Tuiza moli mwana ngaki mabangwa Sheriza la no kyo siniza babose Tuiza moli mwana ngaki mabangwa
Beautiful lady, for what I'm about to do with you, you're not ready. Una cosa, dime cuándo vamos living la vida loca. Una cosa, dime cuándo vamos living la vida loca. Naringio, llamo de malanga, mwasi kitoko. Llamo de malanga, de malanga, oh de malanga, de malanga. Hey, mama.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Top stories: a Sawa nephew of Equatorial Guinea's president sentenced to 8 years in prison, and Human Rights Watch issues a plea to Lebanon. Good afternoon. I'm Jolani Tulo-Webe. A nephew of Equatorial Guinea's President Teodoro Obiang Nguema, who was at the centre of a sex tape scandal last year, has been sentenced to 8 years in prison for embezzlement. Baltasar Ebang Ngoga, the former head of the National Financial Investigation Agency, diverted money for his personal use, a court ruled. Nicknamed Bello because of his good looks, the married Ngoga gained notoriety last year when he appeared in leaked videos having sex with different women, many of them wives and relatives of people close to the centre of power. The leak occurred while he was in detention, accused of depositing a huge sum of embezzled money into secret accounts in the Cayman Islands. Ngonga's arrest last October and public humiliation was seen as an attempt to destroy any hope he had of being the next president of the oil-rich Central African state. South Africa's National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says they're re-looking at strategies to deal with the ongoing taxi violence and gang-related shooting incidents in the Western Cape. Masemola was speaking on day 2 of the 27th Interpol conference currently underway in Cape Town. He says over 200 police officers from outside the Western Cape have been deployed in the province in the past month to help combat the increase in gang violence. Masemola says their main priority now is to arrest all gang members and not just gang leaders.
The resources we do have, what we have here, we think we can be able to tackle the gang violence in the Western Cape. Of course, we're also going to tap on other government departments to come on board, deal with other social matters, issues that are of a problem, and especially issues of environmental design, accessibility in terms of policing, and of course also the kids that don't go to school that becomes vulnerable and become victims for gangs to recruit and use them. So that doesn't require police and these other departments.
Human Rights Watch has issued a plea to Lebanon to end the imprisonment of one of the sons of Libya's late dictator, Muammar Gaddafi. The group says Hannibal Gaddafi has been wrongly imprisoned for a decade. He was arrested in 2015 after being accused of withholding information about a Lebanese cleric who'd vanished in Libya when Hannibal Gaddafi was just 2 years old. He has since been jailed in a Beirut jail. Tanzania's Electoral Commission has barred the presidential candidate of its second biggest opposition party, Luhaga Mpina, of the Alliance for Change and Transparency, from contesting polls in October. This leaves President Samia Suluhu Hassan to face only candidates from smaller parties. The vote will be held without the participation of leading opposition party Chadema, which was disqualified in April after failing to sign the Electoral Code of Conduct as part of its call for electoral reforms. The Independent National Electoral Commission approved Hassan and her running mate Emmanuel Nchimbi to run in the October 29th election after receiving their nomination forms yesterday. And finally, the European Commission says Russia's overnight drone and missile attack on Ukraine's capital damaged the EU's delegation building in the city. The president of the EU Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, has accused Russia of targeting them.
Last night's attack struck in close proximity of the diplomatic mission, the representation of our union. 2 missiles hit in a distance of 50 meters of the delegation within 20 seconds. And this is another grim reminder of what is at stake. It shows that the Kremlin will stop at nothing to terrorize Ukraine, blindly killing civilians, men, women and children, and even targeting the European Union. This is why we are keeping maximum pressure on Russia.
Recapping the top story this hour, a nephew of Equatorial Guinea's President Teodoro Obiang Nguema, who was at the centre of a sex-tape scandal last year, has been sentenced to 8 years in prison for embezzlement. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo-Mwebe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Well, it's gone 6 minutes after 3 p.m. Central Africa. Well, it's gone 6 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside on Channel Africa, the African Perspective. We're coming to you live from the Tembela venue in the city of Mmatsheko in Richards Bay, South Africa for day 2 of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa. All the important people in the space of tourism are here, not just in South Africa, from all around the world for the development of the tourism sector and other sectors in the city of Mmatsheko in Richards Bay, making it a proper economic player when it comes to tourism and the different sectors in South Africa. They're the second biggest market in KwaZulu-Natal after Durban, the city of Ethekwini, and that's exciting. I've roped in our producer, Nombuyiselo Tango, and she's shocked because she's like, what am I doing here? You know I don't like doing this talking to microphone things. You know I don't. But how exciting is it for you? Because we come to an area, usually when we do forums, we go to Durban, Cape Town, Johannesburg, Sandton City, Pretoria. It's our first time here. City of Mmatsheko. What do you think of the place? What do you think of Richards Bay?
Wow, the agriculture here.
Yeah.
First of all, every single time when we turn, we're constantly looking at the greenery here. It's one place where if you are a nature lover, come through and check it out. If you want to learn a thing or two about the history, come through and check it out. And if you want to have an event, a wedding, whatever it may be, this is the perfect space for it because of the, it's not as packed as it is in other areas. The weather is a little...
But it's just this week.
It's a little...
I think this week is the outlier. I don't think it's always like this. It's just a bit windy. Just a bit windy and humid.
It's humid.
Tell me though, we've seen enough conferences and forums where it becomes a old talk shop, where it's just old talk. Are you hoping that this time around it would be a different case? Are you getting a sense from the organizers, from Milvest, from the city of Mhlatuza, the mayor? Are you getting a sense that this is not a talk shop? We actually have action plans and we're going to execute them. It's not just going to be all talk.
One thing I picked up is they had a segment where they actually asked everybody within tourism to actually pull up your challenges that you have been experiencing. Tell us from beginning to the end. And they've been asking them the questions, and I see that they've been answering. Hey, they've been putting them in the light, in the spotlight, and that's exactly what we want.
Accountability, and we want to see action. We are still coming to you live from the TIFA 2025, and we'll be giving you more updates on what's happening on the ground with very important delegates. Don't go anywhere. It is 9 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the final hour of the Upside.
The KwaZulu bring you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum Africa. As a global platform for local action, the Tourism Investment Africa aims to promote the secondary and tertiary cities and regions as attractive investment and tourism hubs. Be part of the movement transforming tourism in Africa. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from August 27 to 29 at Tembela Venue, Richards Bay, KZN, South Africa.
Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter?
Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard?
Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126.
And we will call you back.
So you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So that's who I am, you know.
It's not just talk, it's your chance to air your views.
Share your opinion.
Engage with a community that values your perspective.
Follow us on our social media.
Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za
and get ready to share your views
on Channel Africa,
the African perspective.
No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you.
Starboy day for you. Starboy day for you. Baby girl, you find yourself oh. Girl, you make my head red oh. Anytime you know they close to me, yeah. Baby girl, now you I want oh. Baby, shey na me you want oh. Make we day 1 + 1 or 2. Yeah. 1 liter, oh, say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh, say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh, say 1 liter. It be only you be my desire, oh. 1 liter, oh, say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh, say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh, say 1 liter. Only your water be burn my fire, oh. Starboy day for you. Starboy day for you. Everywhere you go, baby girl, you be my handbag. Gone are the days when me and you just stand for. Yeah. Making it right, make it just the stand for it, though. So good. Open up my mind, and only you did my mind, though. Yeah. Baby girl, you find yourself, though. Girl, you make my head red, though. Anytime you know they close to me, yeah. Baby girl, now you I want, though. Baby, shey na me you want, though. Make we day 1 + 1 or 2, yeah. 1 liter, oh, say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh, say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh, say 1 liter. It be only you be my desire, oh. 1 liter, oh, say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh, say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh, say 1 liter. Only your water be burn my fire, oh. Yeah. Starboy day for you.
Well, it's gone 15 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. The name of the song is called Fever by Central African Time. The name of the song is called Fever by Wizkid. You are not, you haven't tuned into the wrong station. This is still Channel Africa. This is still The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. We have a different location today. Our working space is this beautiful Tembela venue in the city of Umhlathuze in Richards Bay, KwaZulu Natal, because we are here for day 2 of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa. Yesterday we did the site visits showcasing all the different developments that are currently underway that are supposed to bring economic growth and tourism opportunities into the city of Umhlathuze. And today we have the delegates engaging in conversations, laying out their plans to the media, stakeholders, potential investors, and we are so grateful to be here as Channel Africa. But now it's time for us to get into a conversation, right? And I would like us to get into a conversation about two young guys who have created a sneaker cleaning business. It's and they're going to be on a podcast. They've called the podcast the Clean Pair Podcast. It's a very interesting one. So on the 18th of August 2025, the Clean Pair Podcast will launch, focusing specifically on sneaker related content. The Clean Pay podcast has officially launched with the aim of connecting with sneakerheads from all over. The platform's content is focused on the endless sneaker culture space while implementing current, fun, and intriguing consumer conversations. Two friends by the name of Khabo, Ben, Tlako, and Tsepo Team Pela have come together to share their deep love for sneakers in the best way that they know how. Yes, they've got a sneaker company, a sneaker cleaning company, business, but they have launched a podcast to celebrate the culture of sneakerheads in South Africa and beyond. And we have them on the line, Khabo and Tsepo. Thank you so much for your time and welcome to The Upside. I'm going to throw this one to you, Khabo. The sneaker culture in South Africa is a rather big one, but I want to know how you guys got into the business of cleaning sneakers and how successful that business has turned out for you.
With currently and how we got into it is that we're very sensitive about how get cleaned, and for example, if you give somebody your freshest pair of suedes and how they come back might not be how you gave them to that person. So we got very sensitive about that, and then we started washing our sneakers ourselves, and then the business grew day by day, client by client, because of the great work that we're starting to do. Word got out that people started trusting us with their pairs, and myself and Tepo continued to talk about our love for sneakers. And that's how we then got together to form the podcast to also get that to be the driver of the sneaker laundry business here.
Tsepo, tell us what is the secret to keeping a sneaker crisp white. I don't know if crisp white sounds right. It's English is correct.
Yeah.
But how do we go about keeping? How do we go about keeping them super white, Tsepo? Because I've struggled with mine. I don't know, and I know there's a formula you're using. You just don't want to tell us. White, Tsepo, because I've struggled with mine. I don't know, and I know there's a formula you're using. You just don't want to tell us. No, please do. Do it. It's just between you and me. Don't worry. No, please do. Do it. It's just between you and me. Don't worry.
Almost, when you get invited to an event, you need to ask what kind of situation you're walking into. So if you kind of, try not to get them too much to the dark side as white sneakers, we can always bring them back.
We do revive sneakers from brown to white. So the secret would be bringing your sneakers to us.
I gave my PR answer that you are not getting anything out of it.
Listen, it's simple. We're going to have our own private conversation after this because I need to know. Personally, I need to know. But we are currently We are currently in conversation with the hosts of a brand new podcast. It's called the Clean Pair Podcast. We are joined by Khabo Ben Tlako and Tsepo Team Pela. They are the co-hosts of this podcast where they're celebrating the sneaker culture in South Africa and beyond. And we'll continue the conversation with them right after this. It's 20 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time.
Stella Longwe pamalonje.
palitusokoma pano pamalonje kumvera nyimbo za mu africa kusangalala kupeza moyo akuti kumva moyo kuti kuyenda bwino pano pamalonje ndiyetu apa tili ndi katswiri oyimba ameneyu ndi katswiri wa dziko la malawi amene akukhala mdziko la south africa ndipo amayimba amene akuti ndi big nick malawi yatiusani kuti kodi moyo wanu woyimba ukuyenda bwanji mu johannesburg?
Moyo woyimba ukuyenda bwinobwino kwambiri chiliyonse chikutheka ndithu bwinobwino.
Ayi aziwoneka chiliyonse chikutheka mofa magrasi anu apa mwaka akuti kumenya yonse aziwoneka zoti azikutheka ndithu mu johannesburg.
Malonje pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo lowiruka ndi Stella Longwe.
Well, the KZN Convention Bureau, in collaboration with Millvest Advisory and the city of Mmatsheko, bring you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum Africa. Bring you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum Africa. As a global platform for local action, the Tourism Investment Forum Africa aims to promote secondary and tertiary cities and regions as attractive investment and tourism hubs. Be part of the movement transforming tourism investment in Africa. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from 27 to 29 August at Tembela Venue, Richards Bay, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa.
The Upside, the world on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
All right, it's exactly 22 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time, and we continue our conversation with the founders of Clean Tlako. With the founders of Clean Tlako. Clean Shoes, and they have recently launched a podcast. It's called the Clean Pair Podcast, celebrating the sneaker culture in South Africa and beyond. And we are currently in conversation with Khabo Ben Tlako and Tsepo Timpela. Khabo, let's talk about this podcast. It's one thing to have to run a business that celebrates having clean sneakers and, male grooming in a way as well, or female and grooming in general at large. But a podcast, everyone is doing a podcast. Why did you think we needed a podcast about sneaker culture?
So, as you said, everybody is doing a podcast, and it was about what difference are we gonna bring to it? So we are authentic towards our love for sneaker collections, and we also very passionate about how you need to upkeep. So we thought that works so intertwined that it's a great bowl of sneaker cleanness and the culture, and let's touch on different topics, and let's assist you and let you know when the latest sneaker drops are coming. So we do it. And as well, we have the freedom of a podcast platform, so it allows us to get a little bit of freedom in terms of touching on different aspects of the culture as well. Yeah. So it's a great experience so far.
Tsepo, a sneaker says so much about you as a human being, how you take care of it. What sneaker so much about you as a human being, how you take care of it. What sneaker you have bought. Walk us through the basics of being a sneakerhead. What kind of shoe says what shoe says a story about you, and perhaps there are specific types of sneakers that you can refer to and say this one says this about you, and how clean it is says this about you.
So how you want to be received is how you should arrive. So we have, my boy Bern here is somebody who actually wears suits and his sneakers, right? So I think even just styling and it's got to be what your personal style is. You can find these shoes that kind of match that. So I would then encourage people just to just be authentic to what am I about? What are my wants? Do I want high fashion or do I want comfort or do I want a sneaker that tells a bit of a story? Like with what we collect, it's sneakers that were part of our stories growing up, and we've now collected them based on the stories that they tell. So just be true to you, and you can pull it off.
Thanks.
So, but talk to us about just the trends that you are seeing, the trends that you're going to
Yeah.
incorporate in the conversations going forward. Because, and I asked about the trends in the conversations going forward because, and I asked about the trends because that's ever changing. You know, every 3 months there's something new. There's a different sneaker that does this, and also the technology is filtering into the space quite strongly. So, yeah, talk to us about how you're going to incorporate those elements into the conversation.
Yeah, so what's happening right now, there's a big, what we call dad shoe trend going on where what used to be the running shoes that are from like the brands that kind of are working with those are actually cutting into the market share of the bigger brands that have been traditionally the go-to sneaker brands. So we've been seeing a great trend in that aspect, and it's seeing that the younger generation having an association with shoes that I thought would have been outdated or uncool to them, it's now what is now the part of a lot of what the street culture is. And so that it's out of our comfort zone, and we are having guests on our show that kind of take us through their journeys of why they kind of think those will have a long-term impact on the sneaker culture here. So I don't know, I'd be interested to know what kind of sneakers you guys have on right now.
Yeah.
Because that's how we welcome our guests, by the way. We need to see what you have on feet.
It's not a sneaker, this one. This is just something I got. Yeah, you can see it on your sneaker, this one. This is just something I got. Yeah, you can see it on your screen. I don't know if you can, but it's something I got. Yeah, thank you for clapping hands. I appreciate it. So I actually want to find out from you, Khabo, the type of guests that you want to have on your show, the type of guests you've already had, and are you trying to go for the big names, the celebrities, the politicians? Who are you trying to get onto your podcast to talk about the culture of sneakers?
So that's the beauty of our show is that, and we've said it to each other when we started, is that we want sneaker heads. We want people that are passionate about collection. We're ready to speak to you, and we want to find out what your story is.
Yeah, but so we've had footballers, we've had DJs, we've had musicians so far. So those guys will be rolling out as we go. So it's a wide world of sneaker people.
Nice. And also, I think podcasts serve as beautiful springboards for all kinds of other, products that can kind of manifest through that. So are you possibly looking at, even if it's in the next, in the not too distant future, at launching your own clean pair sneaker, a unisex clean pair sneaker?
So from our side, firstly, it's about getting the solution out in terms of the cleaning solution for your sneakers. So that's our first step. But also what we want to do is that that is more feasible from a financial perspective than actually getting a sneaker done. But we're also giving local sneaker producers opportunities to come and let us know about their sneaker drops.
Okay. All right.
As we're growing it, it's allowing people to know where to get stuff. But from a business perspective, we're going to go into the liquid solutions currently.
Yeah. So all the associated kind of cleaning material and that kind of stuff, that's what we'll go into.
I love that. Very quickly, what's the most expensive sneaker that you each own? Tebogo.
Is my wife watching? It's around 20,000 rand.
20,000 rand.
Yes.
What is the sneaker? What
it
is
appreciates in value, in my defense.
What is the sneaker? Don't justify it. What is the sneaker?
They are called Jordan 1 Chicago's.
Jordan 1 Chicago's. All right. That was you, Tsepo.
If you Google them right now, just go do that to yourself and see how much they are reselling at.
And then
with me, I have a cap on my sneakers. So a price cap. So I collect one type of sneaker just in different shades. I just fell in love with that type of sneaker make, and that cost is 2,500. But I have about 65 of them.
So is it really?
Sneakers
Yes,
are investments.
Not what Tsepo saying it appreciates it
It's an
for me.
art collection.
Tsepo and Khabo, thank you so much for your time. We have run out of time, unfortunately. It's 30 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Go check out the Clean Pair podcast from Tsepo and Khabo as they talk and celebrate all things sneaker culture in South Africa and beyond. Let's get the final new sports bulletin with Fikile Lingwati. It's 30 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Let's bet off with Cricket News. Proteas betting coach Ashwell Prince says South Africa's betting unit will be encouraged to show intent in the upcoming ODI series against England starting on the 2nd of September. South Africa arrived in England off the back of a 2-1 series win in Australia, where a number of batters made starts but none converted into centuries. For Prince, though, runs on the board matters more than a personal landmark.
Maybe a little bit disappointing and nobody went on to score 100, but to be honest, the focus is more making an impact. So we don't necessarily want somebody who's in the 70s and 80s to have just 100 in the back of his mind and sort of nursing himself towards that. We want to try and encourage particularly those guys in that phase of their innings that if they fancy it, that they put their foot down. And sometimes they will go on to get 100, and if they don't, if they bomb out, that's the way the cookie crumbles. But
Prince explained that South Africa's aggressive blueprint under head coach Shukri Conrad means players will be pushed to exploit opportunities, especially before the final power play.
Most of the communication is about trying to free people up. That's the big thing. And sometimes with Shooks and his style of play that he wants us to play, or wants the guys to play, it's front foot style. And if anything, Lekhuleni is naturally a positive player. But if anything, from Shooks' point of view, he might want a little bit more aggression. And sometimes, it can take time for people to settle into that mindset and style of play. But we do encourage that.
Bafana coach Hugo Broos has announced his 23-man squad for the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Lesotho and Nigeria in Bloemfontein in September. South Africa hosts Lesotho on the 5th of September at the Free State Stadium before welcoming continental giants Nigeria to the same venue 4 days later in what could prove decisive for their qualifying campaign. Captain Ronwin Williams headlines the selection, while the absence of defender Khuliso Mudau is glaring amid his ongoing omission from the Sundowns squad this season. There is a strong Sundowns and Orlando Pirates presence in the squad, with the two domestic giants contributing the bulk of the defensive and attacking options. On to athletics, the 5th edition of the Hollywood Birds Durban 10-kilometer draws near as elite and social runners gear up to hit the ground running on the 30th of August, with a start and finish at the Kingsmead Stadium in Durban, South Africa's KwaZulu-Natal province. The highly experienced manager Manfred Siedler has more on what to expect from the elite runners, including reigning women's champion from Lesotho, Neheng Khatala, and men's 2024 winner, Tebello Ramakungwana.
Well, the course is there for it, and weather predictions certainly indicate the weather's going to be great this year. Last year we did have the wind. Right now it's going to be wind still, so we're hoping for perfect conditions. The caliber of athletes here is certainly capable of running sub-28 and sub-32 in the women's race. So fireworks is your answer, is what you can expect to see.
We end with rugby. The Wallabies coaches have confirmed a handful of players have been added to the squad for the upcoming Rugby Championship test against Argentina. The group is mostly consistent from the one that toured South Africa over the past fortnight, with a small handful of changes due to players returning from injury or replacing those who sustained injuries during the last two tests. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Fikile Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Zoshitika Ndimodapiri.
kamlondola wazochitika pena paliponse.
mabhizinesi osiyana-siyana mdziko la south africa ayamba kukhoma msonkho wa 30% akamagulitsa katundu awo ku dziko la united states of america nepano tili ndi katswiri wa zachuma mu dziko la malawi dr bertha chikadza. boma la south africa masiku apitawo linanena kuti ngati america akani kutsitsa msonkhowu bomalo lipeza misika ina. mungatifotokozere kuti ndizotheka south africa kupeza misika yomwe ingabweretse ndalama pafupifupi 15 billion US dollars zomwe imapezeka ku msika ya ku america.
tinene kuti izizi zitha kuchitika koma sizingachitike mwa pompopompo chifukwa tikaonetsetsa izizi zokuti inali msika wa dziko la america noni msika wakukhazikika umene dziko la south africa linali likuzolowera kale tsono kuti tingonena kuti dziko la south africa lipezanso msika mwina mwasangasanga kuti lizitumiza katundu wake mwina zisizingachitike pachokuti tikunena papa 15 billion dollars ndi ndalama zambiri ndithu.
Zochitika ndi madaphiri lolemba mpaka lachisanu pa nthawi ya 7 koloko kufikira 8 koloko madzulo pa Channel Africa.
It is now 36 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. It is now 36 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get the final business update on the upside this afternoon with the man with a golden voice. His name is Thabiso Lehuku.
Business news on Channel Africa.
Thanks, Tebogo, and good afternoon. The South African National Taxi Council has put the blame of the conflict between e-hailing services and taxi operators squarely on government. It says government is failing to provide jobs for the local people, and that is not only synonymous to the taxi industry. The council has been recently under fire following an e-hailing driver who was shot and burnt inside his car in Gauteng province, allegedly by taxi operators. Santaco has denounced violence. However, it says local taxi drivers are also not surviving. The Chief Executive Officer of Santaco, Travel and Tourism Services, Eugene Ngwechana.
The competition comes when drivers who have pressure to make a certain amount of money at the end of the day find themselves not being able to find enough travelers. Then the conflict starts there because the driver is scared of the operator, who's the owner of the car that the driver may be driving, who also has pressure from the financial institution that threatens to repossess the car.
The South African rand has moved just a little after the release of higher than expected domestic producer inflation figures. The rand traded at $17.6625 against the dollar, near yesterday's closing level. South Africa's Statistics Agency data earlier showed that producer inflation was at 1.5% year-on-year in July, up from 0.6% in June, and higher than 1.4% expected by economists polled by Reuters. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to visit Zimbabwe this Friday to officiate at the country's 115th edition of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show. This year's show has attracted at least more than 500 exhibitors, including some from Pakistan, Nigeria, Brazil, Ghana, South Africa, Tanzania, India, Malawi, Mozambique and Zambia. The late former South African President Nelson Mandela officiated the opening in 1994 after his release from prison, thereby making it one of his first foreign diplomatic duties. Later in 2009, former President Jacob Zuma also officiated at the show. President Ramaphosa's visit was confirmed by Zimbabwe's Information Minister Jenfen Muswere during a post-cabinet media briefing in Harare.
The show is organized around 5 sections, namely agri-produce, tobacco, cotton, livestock, and commercial exhibition. The show will be officially opened by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa.
Egypt's Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouly has touched on activating a $7.5 billion partnership package with his Qatari counterpart. Egypt and Qatar had agreed in April to work towards a package of direct Qatari investments as Cairo pushes to secure funding from Gulf neighbors to tackle heavy foreign debts and a gap in budget deficit. Last year, Egypt has signed a $35 billion deal with the United Arab Emirates to develop a city at Ras Al Hakma on Egypt's north coast, which provided a crucial injection of funds for Cairo. Microsoft has fired 2 employees after they held a protest against its ties with Israel. They were among 7 people arrested for staging a sit-in in the U.S. offices of the firm's president. In April, Microsoft AI CEO Mustafa Suleyman's remarks were interrupted by a pro-Palestinian protesting employee during the company's 50th anniversary celebration over the firm's ties with Israel. That employee and another protesting employee were also fired. The BBC's Jacob Evans has the details.
The 2 staffers were supposedly relieved of their duties by voicemail. Microsoft says it's conducting a formal review into the media allegations.
$1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,534 naira. Botswana 13.31, Kenya 128 shilling 45, and Zambia 23 kwacha 33. The BRICS countries and Brazil, the dollar will cost you 5 real 43. Russia 80 rubles 34, India 87 rupees 71, China 71 15, and in South Africa the dollar will cost you 17 rand 64 cents. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 86 to the euro. Gold at $3,395 and platinum $1,351 per ounce. Brand crude oil $67.77 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Tabisolo Hoku.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter?
Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard?
Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126.
And we will call you back.
So you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So that's who I am, you know.
It's not just talk. It's your chance to air your views.
Share your opinion.
Engage with a community that values your perspective.
Follow us on our social media.
Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za
and get ready to share your views
on Channel Africa,
the African perspective.
This is The Upside for the best African vibes.
Groundbreaking content.
Exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news
from the African perspective.
She don't give me something, Roja over. I don't even tell it over. Like she do me karashika, make I no feel liver. Me way be John Cena. I say I swear you mine, die. Baby girl, now you be God design. My life, as your face they show, now show your shoe design. Now you gon' be my wife, you got to be my wife. For you I paid the price, yeah. Oh Gigi, oh my.
Plenty kele from my life, now you I chose. I don't dare wonder if you everything I close. If I do you wrong, my baby boo, I'm sorry. You say I get too many girls that on a story. But now you did my mind, I swear, say now you did my mind. I swear I know the lie, I dream about you all the time. Cause girl, you blow my mind, and I know 59. Girl, you do me bad. Yeah.
Ogechi, kama.
Okay, come on. No fair, no polite, I need your love. ngenyeki yobi muhimani maga. Pretty in your love is all I do for the living. I tempted to touch your foreign booty. If I kill him all, still the love I got. It's full of love for back. Oh baby, this love is real. I give you my brother, I'm official. Don't I'm like Oba, boy I kabasha. Yeah, you forgot that, baby, I know say you like her. Mani magali, let her dollar. But around to make us spray you on my dollar now. Parade for my body, yeah. Chop my granoto, make it burn my bikini. Oh, Ogechi, come on. Then my baby, oh, come on. But don't look fair, I don't go lie. I need your love, I need your love, I need your love, I need your love. Hey. Ogechi, come on. Then my baby, oh, come on. No look fair, no go lie. I need your love for my. I'm fem genyeki obi muhimani maga. Ogechi, come on. My baby, okay, come on. Lulu fair, no good lie, I need your love for my. I'm fem genyeki obi muhimani maga.
Whatever you want to hear about today's talk, you can get it on the upside.
Defla andando narafas yene ngadon jabar ngala bundirero bakendo ñu ke kanto yow mi nga xamne mbëgguma ku dul yow jaral nga ma guux pétrole di wal nga la jaral nga ma di ma wax sa xalaat ma wax la sama xalaat yow mi ma tànn ci seen biir def la àndandoo nara fas yéene nga doon jabar nga la bundirero nga la bundirero ba kenn duñu kekkanto
Exactly till we wrap up the upside for the Thursday edition, broadcasting live from TIFA 2025. that is currently underway at the city of Mhlathuze in KwaZulu. So the music, as you heard it, a double play of Theon Sek with Yau. You also heard Ogechi featuring Davido, and Boy P was on that song, as well as Brown Joe. Thank you for tuning in. It was just so beautiful. It's really so beautiful, vibrant, exciting to be able to see just how many people can benefit from one conference. One conference that holds so much power when we look at tourism and investment themes.
Absolutely, and it's now gone 10 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time. We're going to take a quick breather. When we get back, it's vent o'clock time.
Stella Longwe pamalonje.
palitu soko mangalala kupeza moyo akuti kumva moyo kuti kuyenda bwino pano pa malonje ndiyetu apa tili ndi katswiri oyimba ameneyu ndi katswiri wa dziko la Malawi amene akukhala mdziko la South Africa ndipo amayimba amene akuti ndi Big Nick Malawi. Yatiuzani kuti kodi moyo wanu woyimba ukuyenda bwanji mu Johannesburg?
Moyo woyimba ukuyenda bwinobwino kwambiri chiliyonse chikutheka ndithu bwinobwino.
Ayi azioneka chiliyonse chikutheka mofa magrasi anu apa mwaka akuti kumenya yonse azioneka zoti azikutheka ndithu mu Johannesburg.
Malonje pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo. Lowiruka ndi Stella Longwe.
No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you.
It's gone.
Channel Africa is always with you.
It's gone 9 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time. We're still coming to you live from the Tembela venue in the city of Mhlathuze in Richards Bay, KwaZulu-Natal for day 2 of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa. And we are bringing you the latest on the ground, the conversations with the people that matter. And it's wrapping up tomorrow. That means that tomorrow we have to head back to Johannesburg. And I'll kickstart my vento clock by saying, I don't mind going back to Johannesburg. And I'm not saying that I'm hating on the city of Mhlathuze or Richards Bay. I'm not. Okay?
You better not be.
No, I'm not. I love it here. It's very beautiful. No, but it really is. It's beautiful. The landscape, the greenery. And we've said it when we were driving in here. And I personally said that when I come back to this side of KwaZulu-Natal, I'm not just going to stop in Durban, Umhlanga, and Balito and all these places. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to drive an hour and a half further up to places like the city of Mhlathuze and Richards Bay because it's so beautiful. The challenge is, and this is a consistent challenge when it comes to small towns, right? Small towns anywhere have a similar problem where you struggle with network. That's a big thing. And I'm hoping that obviously through this forum, those infrastructures, because the theme is infrastructure, is one of the key conversations, that the infrastructure for network towers will be improved so that when you do come here, you don't necessarily struggle with connectivity and so on and so forth. But my biggest challenge is the slowness of services when you go to supermarkets around here. And this is me. This is on me because we come from Johannesburg and everything is fast paced. Your query is dealt with now. You go to a supermarket, they deal with it now. Hey, what do you need? Okay, who's next? But here, they take their time. You must have conversations with the next customer who's also waiting. You're going to grab their business card. By the end of the waiting, you will have made a new friend, which I don't think is a bad thing, but it takes a bit of getting used to. So that's my vento clock. I'm going to leave it there for now, because if I say any more, I might not be here tomorrow.
Yes, you might not be here tomorrow. But isn't that the culture shock? I think
it is a culture shock.
If you've been in the big city for a really long time, or you were born there, or whatever the case is, when you come to a place that really just takes its time,
But it's
it
also
can
a
be
good-
it
a good
can be
thing.
it can be a challenge though.
It can be a challenge,
you
but it can
know?
also be a good thing.
Yes,
If you're here for leisure
100%.
and you want to just breathe.
But you're here for business, so it's a different story. You're here for business. It's a different story. Do I have anything to vent about? I mean, not
you?
really. I mean, listen, I'm easygoing today. I really don't want to complain today.
What we are going to do, though, later on is we're going to check out the beaches around here.
Yes.
Right in the Richards Bay area, and we'll share some of that content on our social media platform. That's at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. We just have to go and change because you can't go to the gym with the bogart gin. That's not the right look.
We're
for a
either
gym-
going to
for
beg,
a
borrow, or
beach.
steal a pair of shorts for you, but we're going to get you a pair of shorts.
Not
That's all I'm
steal.
saying.
You're not going to say that.
Beg,
Steal.
borrow, or steal.
No, we're not going to steal.
We
Why are
do
you
what,
stealing?
we do what we need to do. It's just a saying.
No, don't say that. Hey, they take things literally sometimes. It's 5 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time. Tami Ngubeni is standing by because we've got Africa in Business coming up next. So let's take a quick breather, and hopefully when we get back, we can have her on the line to find out what's coming up on the show this afternoon.
Voices to the world on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter?
Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard?
Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126.
And we will call you back.
So you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So that's who I am, you know.
It's not just talk, it's your chance to air your views.
Share your opinion.
Engage with a community that values your perspective.
Follow us on our social media.
Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za
And get ready to share your views
on Channel Africa,
the African perspective.
The Upside. On the Upside.
Your voice matters.
Well, it's 3 minutes before 4 p.m. Well, it's 3 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time, which means it's time for us to say good afternoon and welcome to the Queen of Africa in Business, Tami Ngubeni. Good afternoon to you, Tami. What's coming up on Africa in Business this afternoon?
A very good afternoon to you, team. A really great lineup that we've got in store for everybody today on Africa in Business. It is the day where we have our traditional G20 feature, which we do alongside SAFM. Forward to a really important summit that will be taking place tomorrow in Johannesburg. That's the 29th of August. It is spearheaded by Standard Bank and the G20 Empowerment of Women Working Group. It's all around bringing together policymakers, entrepreneurs, business leaders, strategists with the sole objective of advancing women's participation in Africa's economic growth. Ashraf Garda and myself will be bringing that to you this afternoon. And also in our C-suite, we'll be talking to a former professional rugby player and a multi-award winning entrepreneur. How did he move from being a rugby player, a sportsman, to being an entrepreneur? We'll be talking this afternoon and meeting Kyle Meadows, a really bold man. We'll find out about his entrepreneurial endeavors as well as what it is that ignited that shift. But I'm sure you'll agree with me. So many people are not unilateral. A lot of us are very complex, have a various set of skills and interests. And it's all really a matter of the season as to when that skill will come up. But really, finally, before we wrap up this afternoon, we'll also be taking a look at Ethiopia and what's happening on the investment side as far as the strategic arm of the Ethiopian government, along with the Dangote Group, and what they are doing as far as fertilizer production is concerned. That and a whole lot more on your agenda this Thursday on Africa in Business.
Noteworthy as per always, okay, that's Africa in Business coming to you with Tami Ngubeni for the Thursday edition. Please tune in, it's coming to you in a moment. But it was wonderful, the Thursday edition, wonderful. In a moment. But it was wonderful. The Thursday edition, wonderful. One thing I really appreciate about KwaZulu is the weather. The weather is. I want to actually take the weather in my bag and take it back to Joburg with me. I love the humidity. I love the heat.
You love the humidity.
I love it. I know nothing dries in humid area. Like everything is always wet. But I really just, and if you look at the skins of the women that live in KZN, they've got the most beautiful skins because of the weather. But anyway, we've said enough for the day, okay? We will be back again tomorrow. It is 4 p.m. News time with Jelani Tulo. See you tomorrow.
Even the room was clapping hands with that statement. Bye-bye.
It is a very good afternoon to you, Algeria. Good afternoon, Botswana. Eritrea. Good afternoon to you, Kenya.